Maybe come here.
Who is the after that? I don't know the after that. What is it called? There is one company. Tuesday. Thursday, and you have to, it's approved on Thursdays, and you also need, they're very strict on Thursdays. Like,
They don't on Tuesday.
no, they have to on Thursday, not on Tuesday.
So they only have Thursdays.
Yeah, go ahead.
So on Thursday, that's really nice, but then someone else has class, like, gives you just the open on a Saturday, or something, and perhaps it's Thursday.
Chelsea, you get through?
Yeah.
Alright, lovely.
What the?
And then, I don't think go around and make sense.
When I went, they were talking about your order.
What were they saying?
They messed it up.
So, there's no, I mean, we could rent if you wanted on Tuesday, but everyone has to put up the rent if you wanted on Tuesday. If it's like, because it's first and first, we're not gonna, they would have to, it depends, like, if they're in the clubs, sometimes you have to pay rent, you just pay for the bar with all underage, you're not gonna open the bar for underage kids. Realistically, we could rent if you want, but people have to bring their own drinks. But they were probably gonna let us bring our own drinks. Yeah, exactly, they're not gonna let me bring in drinks first things first. So we're
Yeah, but a lot of people
only on days, not really anyone on the
yeah, but we let them.
It's days, but they're not gonna set up a whole bartenders to you only days and people.
Yeah.
Well, look at this other like wait, anything else you drink can be with. But we all have to put up money, like I would say maybe it could be 5K around, so it depends who wants to go to anything.
Alright.
Put up like $200. What's the cost of
And they're not strict.
You'd have to pay for DJ. I tried to see how this not private, but it included DJ. Yeah, but okay, if we get Tanya, so get it, first we have to pay the DJ.
Does everybody have a printer with the questions?
Yeah.
Where you use it then?
Okay, over there.
Yeah, over here?
Yeah, it was right.
Where you want the paper?
Okay, realistically, if you wanted a DJ for like, till like 3 AM, yeah, I would say that.
You won't get this.
You won't get this at like 1. Well, then we have an after that, but like,
Georgia?
I think you would be shots of
Over this one.
That's Nani. No, that's Nani. Not Jenny. No, that's not. He will listen to you. After that,
She did the video.
well, we have I don't think we should do that. I don't think we should do that. It's not Tuesday night. Okay, do you want to say on awareness? Oh, I thought you wanted to see. I don't know. Oh, but then no problem. We got cool. Yeah, some of them might be in kids. Wait, okay, there's that. Okay, so we got this. They finished around 4 hours.
Wait, you're something.
Yeah, it was cool early. All right, again.
I say,
Nice and warm. I didn't buy one today. I bought an extra chicken we can wrap for one.
I can't.
We'll just do the guys still on here, right? You have a drink? Alright, cool. Yeah, but extra. Was it how long is cheese?
I know it's in what
Nah, yeah, you don't want you took yours? I was like, I have two left here.
oh, I was thinking, maybe it was curry egg, but she was bad. Let's give the chicken. Let's see if I can pick one person
What you did?
I say no. Bring out what I feel.
You mean
That's why I went to walking out to
cinching it up. That was so easy.
So we could have gone
Wasn't there?
It's weather. It's
Which was like popular, which was like football. Plantation. That's it.
You want to go again?
Yeah, I was hoping.
Which one?
I football it halfway through. What do you do?
It was one year I've seen they cried. It was nice and nice and like they want to go to sleep, but I go right out.
That was not.
That was last.
Make sure you choose like your own one.
That's not one I said. Yeah, that's nice and nice.
Because it's cheap. Oh yeah. First I don't mind.
Hey guys.
The other one was expensive around here. What's the point? Exactly. And it's like, I don't make excellence meal.
Oh yeah. What's going on there?
So, but it was a party and it's not a party, it's our private. I mean, it was her day, her party, like, for example, they were doing, and she would be home. And they'd be talking about it. No.
like on Monday, no Monday.
Okay, here's in reds. If it's a big night, they will check your ID because there's so much people. The paid to insurance. That's an extra rent. It'll like if you have to deal that night or it's special night. Even if we buy something like it, it's good to right? One time I went around, they were going to check my ID. And I did my own side. I'm looking at it in red. That's looking at it from afar. Like when it's bright. That was so much people. We were not 13 years old.
I didn't even know. I put 5 on my page. I think I said I was born in like 1990.
Hey guys, I'll give you a few minutes again, but we'll at least start discussing, so you all don't have to write while I discuss. You can still finish eating if anything. Right, but don't rush your food. Take your time and eat. I know you're a bit long fit, and I know why you're rushing your food and feeling upset after anything. Alright? Does anybody not have a copy of the question paper? Right, I didn't I forgot to head up the front on this file. So it's just the question paper and space to write. Recall putting so many copies to print.
They're trying to fix, but they have to pay for my garage. They pay for my storage. They have to pay for social media. That's
They should have done here. Crap. Alright, small thing.
No, like she has come on Friday to go she's my sister's phone.
Okay. Alright guys, so what I want to start doing is just at least start talking you all through some of the logic behind this topic. I have here if you need.
No, I'm looking for my pick, the one I did.
Was that the bank records? That one I don't have.
I did it up in the
No, this has no writing in it. It had to be somewhere. No, I just gave her that one. That'll be stuck on the ground to Ben Curtin. That'll be something. So I can just give you a fresh one if you go and do it over. No, if anybody sees this Laurel's bank recs handout, check that one in.
Which one?
That one marked as bank recs, right? Just open it and see if it's right there.
That's true. Isn't that something? How would we change?
Because you went there just now, did you
I
not?
don't think I would take it there.
Well, maybe you did and you just didn't realize. Okay guys. Alright, so I'm gonna start talking you guys through the errors. So if you're still eating, it's not a problem. Like I said, take your time, don't choke. Alright. That would be no choking matter. You catch that one? Okay. So no joking matter. Alright. We have two sets of errors, two major classifications. You have errors that don't affect the agreement of the trial balance and errors that do affect the agreement of the trial balance, right? So errors that don't affect the trial balance. Anybody remember that list?
Error transposition.
Right, transposition is one. What about when you completely omit or forget to enter a transaction? What do you call that? Right, that's omission. What about when you put the wrong person? Like if I have two Laurelies and I put, let's say, start paying, but I put it in the Daisy's account. That's commission. So you have omission and you have commission.
What's principal?
Right, error of principle. That's if, like, let's say you bought a motor van, but you put it in the motor expenses account. It's the wrong class of account. Right, error of principle. Is it PLE or PL? I think it's PLE. Principle is like a rule. Omission, commission, principle, original, and then you have compensating errors. And they both happen to be the same amount. So let's say, for example, you overstate your income by 100, and you also happen to overstate your expenses by 100. So because both of them went up, they net off, the error nets off. But there'll still be an error, or two errors rather. Right, so it's omission, commission, principle, original entry, compensating errors. And we have complete, what? Reversal of entries. Right? Now there's one, they have a special name for one where it's, transposition. So both of these to me mean the same thing. It's the wrong figure you use. It's just that transposition is a special one because you use the same digits. Right? Just for example, if there was an entry for 360 and I put 630 or 306, I just mixed up the digits. Right? The special trick with that one is that you can always spot an error of transposition because the error is always divisible by 9. Right? If you ever rearrange the digits of a number and find the difference, it's always divisible by 9. All right. So compensating errors is where you hear words such as overstated, understated, overcast, undercast, oversummed. It just means too much or too little depending on the context. Yeah. Right. If it's an error of transposition, the amount by which it is off by is always divisible by 9. So for example, let's say there was an amount that was supposed to be 110, but you put 101. Right? 110 minus 101 is 9. Also, and that could be true for any. So let's say it was 120 and you put 102. 120 minus 102 is 18. So if you make an error of transposition where you had digits but you mix them up, the amount by which it is wrong is always divisible by 9. Transposition, just for transposition. Yeah, that's just an arithmetical fact. Alright, that's something I learned when I went to Form 6. I didn't realize that on my own, by the way. So I'm not trying to pass it off as, hey, I discovered this. No. Right? Most of the stuff I learned here I didn't discover on my own. Right? It was taught to me as it was taught to the person who taught me. Anyhow, so we have 6 major types of errors that don't affect the trial balance, right? And we also have errors that do affect the trial balance. Errors that affect, or they say affect the agreement of the trial balance. The agreement doesn't have 2 G's, Chris. Of TD. Alright, let me zoom out a little bit so we can see all that.
You're live now?
Yeah, we live now. I have a few people. I think some people went for lunch and forget to come back. I don't know. Alright, the errors that affect the trial. So the reason that these errors here don't affect the agreement of the trial balance is because the errors happen on both the debit and credit side in the same amount. So if the errors happen on both sides and in the same amount, how would you therefore, or what, an error that affects the trial balance, how would it be different from an error that doesn't have a trial balance in terms of the double entry? I think I asked you the wrong question. Hold on, let's see. All right, so if these errors didn't affect the trial balance because the error was made on both the debit and credit side for the same amount, how would you therefore describe an error that does affect the trial balance?
Well, that's error on both sides, credit and debit.
Okay, so you can have
the wrong figure, the different figures on both sides.
Right, so you can have a transaction where the debit entry does not match the credit entry. Simple as that, right? So you can simply put debit not equal to credits. One is also single entry where you make a debit with no credits. So debit or credit only. You have incorrect addition in any account. Oh gosh, here's the next one. So it was single entry Debit and incorrect addition. Okay, let's just stick with those three for now, right? There can be other combinations of stuff, but those are the three major items. Okay, so with these things, with all errors, we fix them via the general journal. With the errors that affect the agreement of the trial balance, we use the suspense account to facilitate double entry there. Because if it only affects one account, when you go to debit or credit that account to fix the error, you're not going to have anywhere else to debit or credit, right? So a suspense account is done when a trial balance does not agree, right? So let me zoom out a little bit and show a little example of that. Right, so let's say you had a trial balance here as at, what's the day is it? 11th of May 2019, right? So let's say I had, what did I just press? Right. Okay, cool. Let's say you had total debits was, let's say 1,500, and let's say total credits was 1,400. So if we were to add up both sides, well, each side here, would both sides be equal? No. Which side would be lower? The credit side. So let me just put it on top here. Cool. So the credit side would need an extra 100, almost like a balance carried down. But that balance is sent to the suspense account. I'm going to keep putting suspenses. I'm rushing. Right, so now what has to happen is we now have to go and look through all our transactions to figure out, okay, where is this? This is either I have 100 too much on the debit side, 100 too little on the credit side, or some combination of incorrect debits and incorrect credits that results in this. Most times, it's going to be the last thing. A number of errors on either side that end up netting off to make the credit side less by 1,400. All right. So, in order to do this topic properly, you have to be familiar with the double entry rules. It is also one of the less liked topics because you need to read and understand. And I know a lot of us aren't fans of reading. And of course, when we take a look at May 2009, what we're going to notice is that some of them will be pretty clear and pretty straightforward. Others will not be. And as well, I like to say sometimes CXC stands for can't exactly communicate. But we'll come back to that another time. All right. So let's just remind ourselves of our double entry rules, shall we? So we have assets, we have liabilities. What else we have? We have capital, we have revenue, we have expenses. Right? We'll ignore provisions and stuff for now. Let's just get the basics out of the way, right? So we are going to have increases, and no, let's put debits here, my bad, debit here and credit here. So just the main thing the sides, right? So, so what do debits do to an asset? Increase. What do credits do? Decrease, right? What do debits do to a liability? Decrease. And what do credits do to liability? Increase. And capital has the same, not so? Yeah. So we're just going to do that. Boom. Now, revenues increase capitals. Remember, why do people start business? To make a profit. What are the two components in your calculation of profit? Revenue and expenses. So revenue minus expenses gives us profit. Yeah. What effect does profit have? To whom does the profit go, by the way?
The owner.
The owner. When the profit goes to the owner, does that mean the owner has more money, less money, or the same amount as it started off with? More money. So profit increases capital. I said it again. Profits increase capital. Now, what effect does revenue have on profit? Increase or decrease? Increase, right? The more revenue you make, the more profit you're likely to get. So if revenues increase profit and profit increases capital, we can then skip the middleman and say revenue will increase capital. So therefore, revenue will follow the same rules as capital. Credit to increase, debit to decrease. Expenses now. Expenses are the opposite of revenue, not so? Revenue is money coming in. Expenses is money going out. So what effect do you think expense will have on profit? Increase or decrease? Decrease. Ultimately, therefore, expenses will end up decreasing capital as well. So expenses actually follow the opposite rules. Alright, so you'll notice that there are only two items for now that have debit to increase and credit to decrease. Right? And you'll notice that those are the two items on which we spend money. Right? We spend money on assets. We also spend money on expenses. Anything we get money from, right? Remember, if we earn revenue, isn't that money coming in? Right? When you want to invest money in the business, isn't that money coming in? And when you borrow money via liabilities, isn't that money coming in? Right? So you remember, you always credit to increase. So you credit where it's coming from, and your debit where it's going. It's going to be spent on assets and expenses, because expenditure on assets and expenses will help us generate revenue. You have to spend money to make money. Okay, so the basic now, I know sometimes people say, like, even with these six errors here and these errors down here, right? Hold on, let me just put this in a box. Right. I say there are only two types of errors. You have an error of the wrong account or the wrong amount. Or you can have a combination of the two. You can have the wrong account in the wrong amount in the wrong account. Simple as that. And to fix these things, you're either going to have to increase the account or decrease the account. To increase an account, well, you have to know its classification. You have to know which one of these it is. And therefore, you'll know how to increase it and how to decrease it. For example, right? Let's say we were told that cash was overstated, right? What does overstated mean? Too much or too little? Too much. So what has to happen to fix this?
Credit.
Right? We have to credit cash. So the correction here will involve a credit to the cash account. Let's say, for example, we were told that sales was, which is the other one? Let's say debtors was understated. What does understated mean? Too little or too low. That's correct. And to fix this, what will we have to do? We have to increase, decrease, or leave the account alone? You have to increase this. So to fix this, we would have to do what to debtors?
Debit.
We have to debit debtors. Debtores. Clearly we need to do something. Alright, so that's a kind of bit of a crash course there. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into the question on the left-hand side there, Right, so I hope those on the live could see the question on the left reasonably well. I know the quality is not the best. It was an old paper. I have to get a better copy of that. But that's what we're working with right now. Alright. Okay. Sorry? Alright, that's a very good question. Is errors something they bring a lot? Let's take a look at how often they brought it, right? So let's take a look in January. So errors. So let's put error. Let's put find all. So 2015 they had correction of errors. Let's see. Let's just expand this. So there's not that many, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I have from 2007 to 2019. That's 13 years worth of paper. So maybe once every other year. Right? Let's see what else. 2010, 2019. It came in January. Actually, and it was just the theory. They were asking two types of errors that wouldn't affect the agreement to trial balance. 2011. So we have 10, 11, 15. 17, but that was that depreciation question was a little tough. I wouldn't lie on that one. I might shackle that one tomorrow. 2008.
Shackle?
I said shackle?
Yes.
Or tackle that one, sorry. We're shackling. Tie it up. Alright, cool. 2011, error correction, amended net profit. Right? So it didn't come that often. It didn't come very recently except 2019 Jan, and it wasn't really brought in full force. So 2015 was the most recent Jan paper in which it came. Now let's check May. Alright, so error, let's put find. Let's see if it has any more. Oh, this one has quite a bit more. Alright, 2005, 2004, 2009, 2000, 2009 again, 2000 again, 2013. Alright, 2012, 06. So 12 and 13 really were the big years. 05. 04, 09, yeah, I think we. Yeah. If you look here, if you look like for these ones here, like W is 09. And even then, that was just 2015, and in 2019 wasn't much of it, to be honest. Right? So yeah, it has not come that often. 2012 had some nice ones, to be honest. 2013 had as well. All right, so yeah, it doesn't appear too often. And then of course the last 2 years they had relatively easy exams, to be honest. Yeah, me alright? It's still cool? It's on 26, I mean. Let me see what happens. But that's how I get hot, let me know. Alright, so I want to start tackling the first question, right? Because we are half past one already and I want to tackle as many of these as possible. Okay, so actually let me put it up here because we're gonna make some annotations on this. So let me just
He did the English down there, so.
Alright, so Stephen Peterson, an accounting student, prepared his father's final accounts. The following errors were discovered by the accounting technician who examined the accounts. Alright. So the sale of goods on credit to K. Martin had been entered in K. Martin's account, or K. Martin, according to however you choose to pronounce that. Alright, so what kind of error is this, by the way? Error of commission. It's the wrong person's account, right? So this is error of commission. So check it. If you make a credit sale to somebody, what's the double entry for that, by the way? Generally speaking. If you make a credit sale to someone, what's the debit and credit?
Credit sales, debit demand.
Correct. You're supposed to credit sales and debit the debtor. So in this case, who did we actually debit? We debited K. Martin, right? So K. Martin. Were we supposed to debit K. Martin?
No.
No. Who were we supposed to debit?
K. Martin.
K. Martin. So first thing is, remember when you're correcting errors, don't worry too much in the initial about debit and credit. You'll get to that. The first thing you have to understand is how do I fix this? There are two things to do to fix errors. Undo the wrong and do the right thing. In this case, was the right thing done? No. It was well, half of it was. We credited the sales account. Did we debit the correct person? No. So do we still have to debit that person?
Yeah.
Yes. So we have to debit Martin, K. Martin, and the credit. So there's a debit in Martin's account. Should it be there?
No.
No, it shouldn't be there. How do you undo a debit?
Credit.
By crediting the account. Alright, so that is how we take care of that first one. So if you want to make notes, that's fine.
But you put in the narrative instead? Oh, narrative is not required.
Yeah, narrative is not required. But if you had to put a narrative, you could simply put the correct error of commission. Right? You don't have to write a whole long set of sentences.
Why you debit K. Martin?
Right. We debited Martin because that's what the question said happened. Right? So what I'm showing what happened and how we fix it.
Okay, so if
Right.
they made
Yeah.
the credits. Okay.
Correct. So this here is the correcting entry.
Oh, so we don't have to put anything.
No, this one on top of that is just me showing you guys what happened. The actual transaction, the actual debit and credit. It's just for the sake of illustration. Alright, sorry, Matrud. Alright. Sorry. Right, any questions on that item? Right, I'm gonna erase the top piece here so we could just we could proceed. Alright. Item 2. The purchase of goods for 1,575 cash was completely omitted from the books. Completely omitted. What does omitted mean? It was left out. So how do we fix that?
You put this in.
We put it in. We enter the transaction as it should have been entered. So how do we enter or how do we record a cash purchase?
You debit it.
Debit purchases.
Right? Your debit purchases,
Credit cash.
credit cash. Right? Remember, you're crediting cash because it wasn't put into either account. If it was that it was omitted from the purchases account only, you would be correct.
So when it's a one-sided, you put suspense.
Correct. If it's a one-sided error, the suspense account will be used. Here, it was omitted from both accounts.
So to increase purchases is a debit.
Yes, purchases is an expense, and expenses increase with debit.
And sales.
This is a revenue. That's how we earn money. Yeah, make sense? All right. So once again, the purchase of goods for cash was completely omitted. Omitted means it was not put in.
Debit purchases.
Correct. So to fix that error, we have to put in the entry that was supposed to be entered in the first place. Debit purchases, credit cash. All right. Does anybody have any questions on that item? No. Okay. Let's take a read of the next one. right? So this was an error of omission. The first one was commission, because it was the wrong person's account.
This one is
Aha, let me hear you.
and
Error of principal, right? Principal means the wrong class of account. So we purchased a motor car. So how do we classify motor car? Asset. If you purchase a motor car, is the amount of that asset increasing or decreasing? Increasing. How do you record an increase in an asset? With a debit. But it said it had been entered in the motor expenses account. Was it supposed to be put there? No. So it would have been. So this is the entry that was made in error. So let me put the error in red. Right. So we debited motor expenses and we credited, let's just say, cash. Right. So that was correct. But what happened? What was the problem? Was it supposed to be put inside motor expenses? No, it wasn't. Where was it supposed to go? Motor car. Because motor car is an asset. If you're buying an asset, the amount we have is increasing. And to record an increase in an asset, you have to debit.
so we debit motor car.
Correct.
Credit motor expenses.
Correct. So you debit motor car to put the debit where it was supposed to go in the first place. And now we have to remove this debit that should not have been put there. How do you remove or counterbalance a debit? With a credit. All right. How are we feeling so far? Comfortable? Anybody have any question? No? All right. Let's erase some stuff then. Let me just All right. So this one was an error of. This one was omission. This one was principally.
If we move to one is principal.
Yes, because it was the wrong class of account.
Is number 4 simple?
Let's take a look. Let me just shift up something here. So now shift that up a little bit. That one. No. Okay, let's take away number 4, right? So discounts allowed had been entered in error on the debit side of discounts received. Okay, so we debited discount received. All right, now you have to remember how we enter stuff in those accounts. The book of original entry that records discounts received or allowed is the cash book. So most times what happens is we would, if it was so it was discounts allowed, right? So to enter into discounts allowed, that's an expense. So you were supposed to debit discount allowed, right? The credits would have already gone to the debtors. So it would have balanced off, right? But the problem here is that we entered it on the debit side of discounts received. Discount received is a revenue. And if you debit a revenue, it means the revenue will go down. Not so? Okay. So we have to fix this item. How do we fix this? Now, where was the debit supposed to go, first of all? It was supposed to go to discount allowed. Right? Discount allowed is an expense, so we were supposed to debit discount allowed. And we have a credit in discount receipt that shouldn't be there. How do you undo a credit or counterbalance? Sorry, we have a debit that shouldn't be there. How do you fix that? By crediting the account. Sorry, I was supposed to indent this a little. Discount received. All right. Like I said, the credit for here would have been to the debtors accounts, and those would have been made already. All right. So it's not to say I only debited one account and nothing else happened.
What's the name of the error?
This is also an error of principle because the wrong class of account. It was supposed to go to an expense account. We put it inside of a revenue account. All right, just going to shift that one up as well.
You see debit expenses, an increase in expense.
That's correct, yeah. Number 5, the wages account was undercast by $430. So undercast, so wages was undercast. How do we classify wages? Wages is an expense, very good. Sorry. Expense. Undercast means what? Too high, too low? Too low. So to fix that, what do we have to do to the balance? Increase it or decrease it? If it is too low, we have to increase it. Alright, so to fix it, we have to increase it. Now to increase an expense, is that a debit or a credit? Right, so to fix this, we have to debit wages. But the thing is, this error only affected one account. Right, it affected the wages account only. There was no other account that was affected. Therefore, we have to use the suspense account to facilitate double entry.
Chris, wait, hold on. When sometimes they ask you for the suspense account, so the suspense account figure, like, you know, you credit the suspense account figure on this side, so you will put on the debit side of the suspense accounts when you do the actual suspense account.
No, on the credit side of suspense, you'll see wages written. In the wages account, you have to enter debit. That debit will say suspense, yes.
Okay.
In the suspense account, you have to credit it, and that credit will say wages.
Okay.
All right. Number 6. A receipt of cash from J. Slows for 100 had been entered on the credit side of the cash book and the debit side of Slows account. Now, let's jot that down. So the actual entries made, we said it was debited to Slows and credited to cash book. But the first thing says it's a receipt. If we receive cash, does that go on the debit side or the credit side? The debit side of the cash book. And if the person paying us has to be credited, not so? All right. So to fix this entry, we have to put to fix this error, we have to put the entries on the correct side. We have to put the debit to cash book and the credit to Slows. But there's a little trick with the amount. What is that trick? We have to double it. Why do we have to double it?
Because you have to undo the first one and then
Very good. We have a debit where it should not be. How do we fix that? By crediting the account. And that account was supposed to be credited in the first place, which we did not do. So we then have to credit it for 100 again. In total, therefore, we will be crediting Slows for 200. Right? Once to undo the wrong and the second time to do the right thing. Like I said, how I explain correction of errors, undo the wrong, do the right. And in this case, you had to do two things. Well, both of them at the same time. Same thing for the cash book. The cash book was credited in error when it should have been debited. To undo a credit, you have to debit the account. And it's also missing the debit that should have gone there in the first place. So if you're debiting it twice for 100, essentially what you are doing, what are you doing, sorry? Debiting it for 200. All right. Okay, the only item missing is the first item. So let me put that back in. All right, so this was debit Martin, credit Martin. All right, this one was debit purchases and credit cash. All right. Right, what I want to do, guys, is actually I want to show the T accounts for that last on the board just so you have a visual to see what I'm talking about, right? So let's watch on the board for a little bit. All right, so we have cash book here, cash book and J. Slows. So the incorrect entry that was made was that we debited Slows for 100. That's what it says, right? We debited Slows and we credited cash book. And what was wrong with that? Well, if we receive money, it's supposed to go on the debit side, and the person who... You could if you want, no problem. Right? And you're supposed to credit the person who paid you. But that wasn't done. Now, there are two things to fix here. One is we have to erase the errors from both accounts. But since you can't go and erase, you have to counterbalance. So, oops. So to do that, to undo or to counterbalance an incorrect credit, we have to debit the account. Similarly, to counterbalance or correct an incorrect debit, you have to credit the account. And that just eliminates the error. It doesn't put in the correct transaction that should have taken place in the first place, which was what? A debit to cash book and a credit to slows. So that's why to fix this error, you debit cash book for 200 and you credit slows for 200. All right, does anybody have any questions? Emily Soupdale, yes, double the amount. Once to eliminate the error, once to eliminate the error, and the next time to put the amount in the correct place it should have been put in the first place. All right, so once to cancel the error and once to put in the correct amount as it should have been put in. Right, and that's for the complete reversal of entries. All right, so this one gave us a nice little primer for quite a few different types of errors. We had error of commission to start off with, then error of omission, then error of principal. Right, this one was also error of principal as well. Then we had a single entry. Sorry, we had a single-sided error with the undercasting of wages, and then we had a complete reversal. Complete reversal. All right. Okay. So they're also asking for the income statement, the correction of the net income. Before I get into that, what I want you guys to do is actually to practice some of the error correction stuff with the debits and credits. All right. So before we go on to the next question, anybody here have any questions? Any concerns? Any queries? We good? All right, cool. All right, so hope everybody online on board as well. If not, you could message me and let me know what you want me to explain. All right, I'm gonna come back and do the error correction for this one, guys. So don't think I'm forgetting it. All right, so let's turn the page. All right, so now we're gonna take a little read through, but I'll be asking you all for some input. All right, and I feel warm, so I'm gonna put back up some coolish breeze, right?
That's you.
Okay, it says prepare journal entries with appropriate narrations. Each of the following situations, the date to be used in each case is December 31st, 2005. So for those wondering about the now this is May 2006, and as you can see, I said modified and amended. I had to put in a couple of things here, as well as here, because without those, I found the question was a bit vague. That's just my opinion. I don't know if anybody else would agree with me, right? But that was what I did to try and fix this so it was a bit more friendly in terms of being able to do the question.
Yeah, previously bought from the fixtures of what's that credit?
Previously bought on credit.
Or they just sold it.
Yeah. Well, to me that was the only thing that made sense to put in. All right, let's take a very first one. So a receipt of 2,300 from M Ramadan was recorded in error to the account of M Ramti. What type of error is this? Commission. Right. So we have error of commission again. If we have a receipt from Ramadan, do we debit or credit Ramadan?
Credit.
You're supposed to credit Ramadan. Well, who did we credit in error? Ramti. Very good. All right. So I'll give you guys a minute, fix up, do the journal entry, and then somebody will tell me what it is, and I'll put it on your right hand side here. Right? So we have a credit where it should not be, and we have a credit missing. Right? So that's to help out those who are online in case you have any trouble. Right? Remember, to correct errors, you basically have to undo any error that was made. If it was an incorrect debit, you do the opposite, you credit. If it was an incorrect credit, do the opposite, you debit. Right? So we have a credit here that should not be here. So how do you think you're going to fix that? Right? Similarly, the other half of it is you have to fix. Yeah, all right, no problem. Let me know if you're getting worse or better, right? But I got IB drip and thing. Right, so like I was saying, you have a credit where it should not be. So you know how to fix that, and you're missing a credit where it should be. Alright, any volunteers?
You debit RAM teeth and credit and RAM.
Correct. You debit RAM teeth because he has a credit where it shouldn't be. And you credit who? Ramadan? Sorry. Right, so you credit Ramadan. Because that person was supposed to be credited in the first place but was not. So that credit was missing, so we have to fix that. Yeah, or else, sorry about my handwriting, guys. Ramadan. Actually, here, but to help me out, see what I'm gonna do. I'm going to have to put this lean back. All right, what about that second one? Somebody take a read from it now. What is it saying? What happened to the office fixtures? Alright, they were previously bought on credit. And returned. Alright, so if you bought something on credit and you return it, was the and the error was hold on. They were returned at the wrong order. So what I'm assuming here is that they simply just did not enter the transaction. So this was an error of omission. Nope. You only usually turn outwards if it's stock, right? What did we buy? Office fixtures. From whom? Office Fixtures Unlimited. And we return them. Now, what would be the original double entry to record the purchase of office fixtures on credit? How do you classify office fixtures? Asset. If you're buying it, whether you pay for it or you buy it on credit, what do we do to the office fixtures account? We debit it because it's an asset and it's increasing. So you were supposed to have debited office fixtures, and you would have credited office fixtures unlimited, right? And that would be when you initially purchased it. But what happened was we returned it. So if we returned it, how do you record that then? Exactly. You simply reverse the double entry.
Why don't you use bond?
Well, it said we bought it on credit. So if you bought it on credit, did we pay for it? Aha. So if you didn't pay for it, do you have any money to get back? Nope. So if there's no cash flow in, should bank be involved? Ah, there you go. Oh, well, I said omission. I said I created the fact that they just simply didn't record the transaction. All right. So to fix this, you simply have to debit office fixtures unlimited and credit, well, the asset account, office fixtures. Alright, item 3 had to be modified because that was concerning a topic called bad debts recovered. Right, so you all are familiar with bad debts, but bad debts recovered was an addendum that was removed, I think from 2006 come forward, which was this paper. Right, so I guess they realized people just weren't latching onto it, but it's not terribly hard. So anyhow, so K. Shivnarayan's debt of 2,000 was initially outstanding since 6 months ago. Recently, the business received a check from him for $2,000 with a note attached in full settlement of debt. However, this receipt was not recorded. So in other words, he simply owed us money from 6 months ago and he hadn't paid. But nothing says that we wrote off the debt. So all of a sudden, he just sends money to us and says, hey, in full settlement. So how much did he owe us? 2,000. How much did he pay? Right. And if the receipt was not recorded, what type of error is this? This is also omission. So therefore, to fix this error, how do we fix this error? Just enter it in the books. All right. So if you have to enter a receipt, how do you do that? Your debit cash book. Bank is a bank. Is a check, right?
Yeah.
So your debit bank and your credit wherever it came from, K. Shivnarayan, right? Item 4. The sale of some stock items valued at 40,000 cash was recorded in the bank account. Okay, so we sold it for cash, but we put it in the bank account. Alright. Now it says some stock items. So if you sell stock items, what account do you use to record the sale of stock items? Sales. So we would have credited sales, and well, we sold them for cash, so you were supposed to have debited cash, but what does it say? It was recorded in which account? The bank account. Was the bank account supposed to have been debited? No. So therefore, we have a debit that should not be there, and the debit to cash is also missing. So how do we fix that? How do you undo the wrong? So you have an incorrect debit to bank. How do you undo a debit? So you have to credit bank, and the debit should have gone where? It should have gone to cash.
This is an error of principle.
Yes, this is an error of principle, that's correct. Alright, it was debited to an asset account, this is the wrong asset account.
Wait, Chris, why?
Alright, cool. So, when we sell items, stock items, that's a sale. And we credit sales. Yes? Alright. Sorry, I have to erase that. And if we sold it and we got cash, we were supposed to debit cash.
Yeah.
But it says it was recorded in the bank account, which means we, instead of debiting cash, debited bank. So this item was correct, but this item was not correct. And we're missing a debit to bank. So to fix this error, we have to, we're missing a debit to cash. So you have to debit cash, and then you credit bank to undo the error. So, yeah, it is not a very well liked topic, but it is one that really has the potential to grow your brain, because you have to think through things and figure things out, which is something we're not very fond of sometimes. But like I said, I do understand and sympathize, because sometimes the way they phrase things is not the best. They could be phrased better. Alright, and there's one more error, which is discounts allowed to customers, total sum of 300 was debited to the discount received. Oh, didn't we get this same error in the previous one or something similar to it? Alright, so discounts allowed was debited to discount received. So if it was debited to discount received, so first of all, should it have been debited to discount received? No, it's discounts allowed. So what account should it go to? Discounts allowed. And that's an expense. So it was supposed to have been debited to discounts allowed. We debited discount received in error, and to undo a debit, what do you have to do? Credit the account. Alright, so we have we've gone through some examples there, and we are just after 2 o'clock. Alright. So
Chris, what kind of error is that?
that one was error of principle. Okay, so we went through some transactions there. There was only 1 or 2 that had to do with suspense, so we didn't get too much of an exposure to the suspense account. All right, but so I'll leave this one up for a little bit. What I want you guys to do is try the next question. The next question is a 2012 question. It's called V. Cheeseman. There are only 3 errors there, right? So I'll give you guys a few minutes, and then we will go through V. Cheeseman. All right. So the objective for the rest of the class is to do as many of these questions as possible. And yeah, we have to round back and do the error correction, the correction of net income, sorry. All right, quite a few questions here. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have time for all, but we'll do what we can. All right, so I'll put up the question on the board for those in the chat. And I'll take a look in the chat and see what I've been missing. Nicholas, the last slide for today, yes. Oh, sorry, yeah, those who are asking, this is the 2012 question. Let me double check that for you in terms of what page, boy. Yeah, it may have been, it was one of the compulsory questions. I think it was question 3, right? The first live. You could go back in the videos and check that. I put a link up on the Facebook page. If you want the Facebook page, it's a different approach, Tuition Limited, or just search for adapttuition. All right. Yeah, so this is question 3, I believe. Pretty sure. Okay. So V Cheeseman, 31 August 2011, and okay. Alright, I like what I seen in live, boy. Yeah, man. I want to talk about the first one, at least, right? A purchase of 303 paid by check was recorded in both accounts as a purchase of goods valued at 330. So they used 330 for the debit and the credit, but it should have been 303, right? So was the amount too high or too low? Too high. By how much? $27. Alright, how we got that? It was the amount minus the incorrect amount minus the correct amount. So what was the original debit and credit here then? Alright. We would have debited, sorry, not writing very well. we would have debited purchases for 330 and credited bank for 330. But in both cases, these entries were too much, they were too high. So you have to do what? Reduce them. How do you reduce a debit? And how do you reduce a credit? Right, so to fix that error for item 1, you had to debit bank for the difference, correct, 27. And yes, this is original entry, that's correct. And credit purchases, correct. So you could call it error of transposition if you want, that's fine too. But like I said, to me, they both of them are the same. The second one, well, remember, the original entry was in the red on top here, right? So you put 330 as a debit to purchases and a credit to bank. Right, okay, cool. Alright, everybody okay with that one? Okay, let's talk about item 2 now. A check for 467 sent to creditor R. Sant had been recorded in R. Sant's account only. Okay, if we send a check to a creditor, we have to debit the creditor, so we will debit R. Sant, and we have to credit bank, because we make a payment, and if we made a payment, you have to credit bank or cash. But it was recorded in R. Sant's account only, which means it was not recorded in bank. So we have an error of single entry here, or one-sided entry. So to fix that error, well, simply put, we have to enter the transaction that was not entered. Right? The transaction that was not entered was a credit to bank. So we have to credit bank for how much? 467. But the thing is, you can't just have a credit with no corresponding debit. So which account we said we use here to facilitate this type of correction? A suspense account, correct. So you're going to debit suspense account 467. All right, and the last one. A check received from C. Samna for 290 was debited to Samna and credited to cash book. So let's write that out and see what it looks like. So it was debit to Samna and credit to cash book. But if we receive the check, shouldn't we debit cash book and credit whoever paid us? So what type of error is this? Error of complete reversal. And how do we fix that? We put the correct debit and correct credit, but for how much? Double the amount. So we are supposed to debit bank, because there was a check, debit bank, and we will credit C. Samna. Sorry, real not writing good at all. Right, and double the amount would be 580. 580. Alright, narrative is not required, thankfully. Okay, now why do we double it? Remember we said we double it because one time to correct the error or to undo the wrong, and the second time to enter the right or to do the right thing. Alright, so you have to remove the wrong and enter the right. Alright, so anybody have any questions on V. Cheeseman? Alright, Cheeseman, like I said, was yeah.
Where can you buy like a single
flower.
At any flower shop?
No, they said anywhere besides flower shop.
Super Farm has bunches of flowers, but you can't get this. I don't think a single one.
White House and more.
Sorry?
Where did you get your flowers?
I ordered them from a place called Flowers 137 on the avenue, on Traffic Road, sorry.
Any other flowers and more?
In the mall on the side, on the Guardian Life side, Super Farm side, inside upstairs.
Yeah.
I know there's like a kind of plant thing at the top of the highway, not top of the highway, yeah, not too far from here. Alright, the next question is Western Lee. This is from 2004 May. Yeah, Western Lee.
Name wrong.
Alright, so I want you guys to take a little peruse of Western Lee, see if you can do the debits and the credits, and then we'll go through them in a few minutes. Yeah, so I think you guys have Dane Brown before that, so you could bypass Dane Brown for now, and just hit Western Lee one time. We'll come back to Dane Brown if anything. Yeah. I think in Dane Brown they gave you the debits and credits, they gave you the journal to look at. And I said prepare the suspense account. I will come back to that one. I'm not sure why that's actually not here, to be honest. This one is 2004 May. 2012. Yeah, 2004 May. Oh yeah, you guys have this version. Okay. Tiran, after this today, no. Nicholas, last live for today, yes. $27, right. Original entry, correct. Correct. Let's find it. Which one didn't I double? Oh, Mike rubbing on something? Sorry. Alright, guys. Let's have a
Oh.
sorry about that.
It's the suspense account.
If you could do it, yeah, go ahead. What's up on that one here? Oops. Sorry, guys. 467. Okay, Nick, we don't double it because the error that was made was that it just wasn't sent to bank. Right? If it was missing from bank, all you have to do is simply enter it as it was supposed to be entered. The only reason you would double it is if it was entered on the wrong side, as in complete reversal. Alright? I hope that clears I hope that clears things up. If you're still not sure why, you can message me and I'll see if I can explain it a different way. So, Nicholas, I hope that helped. Alright? Okay. Alright guys, let's talk about this one, shall we? Or at least talk about the first few of them. So, purchases were overcast by $6,000. Alright, so what does overcast mean?
Too high.
Too much. So if this is too high, what do we have to do to fix it? We have to reduce it. And to reduce purchases, we have to credit it. Alright. Now, the thing is, it's a single-sided error. So errors that have one thing overcast or one thing undercast usually mean it's a single-sided error, and therefore all we have to do is use what account? Well, we use to facilitate double entry there. Expense account. Alright? So for item 1, we're gonna, if we have to credit purchases to reduce it, the debit entry will have to go to suspense. Alright. Item 2. Sales were undercast by $14,000. What does undercast mean? Too low. If it's too low, do we have to increase it or reduce it? Reduce it. Huh? What? Increase. Oh. And how do we increase sales? With credits. So once again here, we have to credit the sales account, but debit what? Suspense, right? Why? Because it was a one-sided error. Or it's just an error that affected one account. Okay, item 3. Rent was overcast. What does overcast mean? Too high. So therefore, to fix that, we have to do what to the account? Increase or decrease? We have to decrease. How do we classify rent? Rent is an expense. And to record a decrease in an expense, we have to credit the expense. So we have a next credit to something and a debit to suspense account. Right? We debit suspense because there was a one-sided error. Only one thing was overcast. So this specific thing was overcast. Nothing else was affected by it per se, or that we know of. Electricity was undercast. What does undercast mean? Too low. If it's too low, how do we fix it? We have to do what? Increase it. How do you classify electricity? It's also an expense, and to increase an expense, you have to debit. Alright? So here now, we actually have to debit something else besides suspense. But the credit, guess what? Went to suspense account. Let's put the fifth one down here one time, right? And the fifth one, telephone was overcast. Overcast means it is too high. To fix that, we have to do what to the account? Decrease the account. Telephone is also an expense, and to decrease an expense, you have to credit. fast. Sorry, Anika. Sorry, I'm moving too fast. All right. All right. Credit suspense and debit telephone. I'll find a way to keep this tilted going outside the kill me. Okay. Everybody okay with the journal entries? All right. Oh shucks. Right. My bad. Thank you. Yeah. Right. Credit telephone because they had to decrease. Now, to do the suspense account, we simply have to enter these transactions on the appropriate side. These corrections, sorry. Now it said show the entries in the suspense account including the balance brought down. Did they give us the balance brought down? No, they didn't. So how do we put in the balance brought down? How? All we can do is put in the information we have, and the balance brought down will simply be the balancing figure. Right? So even if you weren't sure, the least you could do is put in everything that you know. Right? Always do what you know how to do.
So that balance has to be at the top though.
Correct.
So you have to leave a space.
So you can leave a space. Yeah, you can leave a space. Most likely it'll be on the credit side though, because the majority of the items inside suspense were debited. Right? So let's enter these figures, shall we? So the first one has a debit to suspense of 6,000, and that went to purchases. Yeah. All right, man. You here tomorrow? All right, cool. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then. Later. So we debit, as I said, we debit suspense, which is on the debit side here, and the other account affected by that transaction was purchases. So somebody's asking about control accounts on your live. I actually have a video up on YouTube about how to do control accounts. So you, after the live, you can go and check it out. All right, second item. Debit, suspense, credit, sales. All right. Yeah, Karen, later. So you had a debit to 14,000 here, and it said sales here. Right? Because you said debit to suspense, which means it's on the debit side. All right. Next item, debit suspense again for 2,000 in this case, and it went to rent. Limited companies. I'll see what today. I don't have time after this, but I'll see what I could do. Yeah, but when the balance, when you find it, will simply be the balance at start, because when you finish with the controller on the suspense account, sorry, it's supposed to be closed off. The debit side and credit is supposed to be equal. So when you balance it off, that'll be the opening balance actually. Right. So when you find the balancing figure, that will be the opening balance that they didn't give you.
Okay, so what do I put in?
Difference as per trial balance. Right. Next, we had a credit to suspense for the electricity of 3,000. Right. That was electricity. And the last item was our last debit to suspense for 1,800, and that said telephone. Okay, so the item that's missing, because clearly this account is not going to balance, is the item at start. Difference as per trial balance.
Chris, can we put it on the next review? You don't have to put it on
You can put it, to me, honestly, it doesn't matter where you put it once it's on the correct side. I'm fine if you have it below electricity. So 6 and 14 is 20, 20 and 2 is 22, 22 and 1,800 is 23,800. Minus that means that this was 20,000, sorry, I should be in green, right? So 23,800 goes here too, which means the green 20,000, yes, thank you. Alright, so that is one of the ways we could tackle a suspense account. All right. So does anybody have any questions on this item? This is the May 04 item. I know it doesn't say it there, but it says it here. May 04, Western Lee. Oh, okay. No, I will never show any of my students my butt if they get a distinction. Why would I do that? That is crazy. Yeah, that's somebody in life just asked. So, will you ever show one of your students your butt if they get distinction? Why is that a prize? Why is that? I don't know. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks.
He wants to see your butt.
Maybe. I assume based on the name. I don't know. Save this live, please. Yeah, no problem. But the live's automatically saved. It'll. This next one.
Yeah, they said to suspense before the journal ended. Why are you doing that?
That's just what they asked you to do. If you guys want, you could go through the debits and credits first. I would actually advise that for 2010 Jan, what you should do is go through and identify the debits and credits first, and then somebody's in sanitize them, something sweet. From Bath and Body Works, right? Yeah. I'll pass you yesterday to get some Mother's Day gifts. They're kind of pricey, boy. Yeah. But the sanitizer was cheapish.
You bought it?
The sanitizer, yeah. No, I got other stuff. I got 2 candles, some cream and some body mist and thing. Yeah.
Your girlfriend too.
Yeah, that's what I got for her and for my mom. And for everybody else, I get cupcakes and cookies.
You get some things for me.
I have aunts. I have her mom, her granny.
Oh, you were birthday. Thank you. That was Mother's Day.
Yeah. Alright guys, so you're taking a look at Jan 2010. This is Beck Hammond. Right, so for those online, it's Jan 2010 question 3, if you have that paper. I'm confused by the difference between receivable control and... Alright, but one second. King Melio, I have a video up about control accounts. It's one of my earlier videos. And I do some part paper questions there as well, so you can take a look at that one, right? King Melio. I hope I said your name properly. Sorry, Lars, you said?
Yeah. The trial balances of bank accounts should be credit totals were greater than debit total by 2,500.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be my difference as per trial balance?
Yes, that's correct. What side would it be on?
I don't know.
Okay, well, they told you, yeah? Which side was greater?
The credit totals were greater than
Which means which side needs to be the extra to be added to it.
the debit.
Right, so your trial balance, your suspense account will start off with a debit balance of 2570. That's correct. Oh, the person who was asking about the butts, the person was like, it's chronic trends. Sir, you have a bubble butt, you know. Could I donate to see your bubble? Fed up with this PUA thing, yes, I feel like it's going to take shots in my hole for a job. No, I wasn't saying that. That wasn't me. That was the comment.
Wait, what was it?
I'm not going to say that again.
Could someone copy that one?
Nizy Lepoof. That's the one who asked about the butt for the distinction.
Read the second statement again.
I'm not going to read it.
Could someone read the first copy?
If you want to... Hold on, which one?
Shots.
Oh, look, the top one, chronic trends. You can read it.
Yeah, I'm curious. Please, I didn't hear. Oh, fed up with this video. I just gonna take shots and I'm cool.
Yeah. I get our next one up, but the other comment, and I'm going to repeat that one and I'll put that person in time out. I'm telling people they're going to feel POA, all kind of drama. Stop now.
Nicolas Boussolet said,
Them girls, three accents, hot eye.
You cannot be myself, boy.
Okay, is he talking there?
Yeah, she just pulled it back now on the live. Not really.
You're live there.
Because we just accustomed watching stuff. Oh. Are you doing any more lives for Monday? Actually, yeah, tomorrow, 4 to 6, half 6 to half 8. Tomorrow is depreciation. Alright, y'all want to do depreciation? Y'all
What time is it tomorrow?
4 to 6 and half 6 to half 8. Yeah, it's in the evening. Nah, Mother's Day tomorrow, so I have like stuff to do in the morning plus lunch. Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah.
a purchase of 1,500 cash and indemnity purchase account.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't an increase
Well, hold on. What did they buy? A purchase of what?
furniture?
What is the only asset we use the purchases account to record? Stock. So should furniture be put inside of there? So you had to remove that.
So how do I do that?
Okay, it was debited to purchases, right?
Yeah.
How do you remove a debit that shouldn't be there?
Credited. So
Mhm.
credit purchases
Mhm.
and debit furniture.
That's correct. Please save this live. Yes, it is being saved. That would be the prize. Seeing my butt. No, not really.
I hate you.
So if I think budgets come in. Honestly, I would say most likely. I think I would choose my screening if you could do that. Alright. Christoph Mascal, yeah,
Are you still live?
yeah, I'm live. I'm live until class is done.
No, wait, bro.
Here.
Oh, but they see the sky.
Right, no, but it's a screencast. Look. That is what it's here.
Magazine and the pop send that house and them accent something like St. Joseph London, what's baby yellow.
Well, clearly that person is from Trinidad.
They are.
They are though.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I have the accents. The accents. Hola, giggling boy. There you the dance mean you get these questions out or what's going on? Yeah, you?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, cool.
Let me see your class.
Let me see your class.
No,
That's my class. Good? Happy now? Alright, cool. Here's a Lucia, don't worry. Let's see hop up playing between today and tomorrow. Yo,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
payment $2,000 by check every day to
Ronaldinho. Dino, yeah. The person was clearly a fan of Manchester United, a football fan. So.
Ronaldinho, so that was correct. And the amount of so is it legal correct?
No. Right, so it was correctly entered in Ronald's account, but was entered in the bank account as 200.
Yeah.
What was the correct amount that should have been used?
$2,000.
So was the amount we used too high or too low? By how much?
Nobody wants to. Aaron Albert says it has some approvals.
1,800.
And I think that's pretty good.
1,800.
1800, good. So,
You is trash.
Wait, that might
You have nice girls in the class.
I don't know good much, you know.
right, so a payment by check. Okay, if so, having made by Ronaldinho. So, if Ronaldinho paid us, you'll credit him and debit us.
Yeah.
So it means the debit was too low by 1800. To fix that, if they go on debit for 1800 more. But it was a one-sided error. So therefore, the suspense account will be used to facilitate the double entry. So if you're going to debit bank for 1800, the credit goes to suspense in this case. Wait, no, this is POA? Yeah?
What?
Nah, but this is POZ. Alright, cool. This is accounts.
You should have said POC.
POB?
No. No, and that's the thing. So what I do that
I got like a moderator for these comments, boy. All right, guys, we're at 2:41, so I want to starting this question because I want to do this whole thing. The suspense account, journal entries, and the statement of revised net profit, and then around back to question 1 to do that correction net profit. Right? I could teach real French, okay?
You can teach me.
Unless French means not teaching rubbish, I don't know. Good Lord. All right, trial balance of Beck-Hammond show that the credit totals were greater than the debit totals by 25.7. So let me just paint a picture for those who may not understand what that means. So trial balance, you have your debit column, your credit column. Mr. CY down to moderate. All right, cool. All right, cool. Where was I? Right. So what we're saying is that so let's say for example the credit totals were greater. So let's just say it was 12,570 and this side was 10,000. Right? Would it erase, please? Right, so this side is clearly greater than this side by 2570. So the 2570 needs to be added to this side in order for it to balance. Sorry, my throat. Right, so that's what's going on here. So this 2570 would be the balance in the suspense account. So when you have your suspense account, it would be on the debit side, 2570. And what they said to drop the suspense account and correct the errors that have caused the difference in Beck-Hammond's trial balance. All right, so this is the suspense account here.
Wait,
Yes.
shouldn't that be 15,750? Not 12,750?
15,750. How come?
That's what it says. Net profit of 15,750.
What?
Any question?
You have 12,750 and it says 15,750.
No, there's not net profit.
That's the suspense.
No, this is the trial balance.
Oh.
Right? It says that the credit totals, which is this, were greater than the debit totals by 2570. So I just made up figures.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. So these figures are not given any question. I'm just painting an illustration as to what they mean. Oh, I am a Zessa. Okay, thanks. Zubair, Mr. Rahman, Miss Rahman. I'm not sure.
This ramen?
I don't know.
And the soup?
No, not ramen.
Oh.
Rahman, R-A-H-M-A-N.
Oh.
Sorry. Right. So, like I was saying, all I did with this is simply try to illustrate what they meant by the credit side totals. Yes, we entered that. Were greater than the debit side totals by 2570. So what that means is that the balance in the suspense account would be on the debit side of the suspense account, and it would be 2570. We okay with that? All right. So let's go from there. We'll come back to this profit. I definitely cash had been debited to the purchases account. If we purchase furniture, do we put it in purchases account? No, we don't. So what they're saying is that there's a debit to purchases that should not be there. If we buy furniture, what account should be debited? How do you classify furniture? Asset. If you buy more of it, what happens to it? Increase or decrease? And how do you record an increase in an asset? So you were supposed to debit furniture. So we have to put the debit where it should have gone. And how do you remove or counterbalance a debit that should not be there?
Credit.
By crediting it. So this first transaction is an error of what type? Principal. Very good. All right. So this is an error of principal. Does an error of principal affect the trial balance? No, it doesn't. Therefore, it would not require the suspense account to be corrected. All right. So we could ignore that one for the time being. Actually, you know what? Let's do the journal entries one time. So journal entries. So for the first item, we're going to debit. Yeah, which one?
It's supposed to increase your purchases.
That's correct, yes?
Oh, so why are we credited?
Right, so what did we buy? That's the question. Furniture. Do we use the purchases account to record purchases of furniture? Aha. What do we use the purchases account to record it? Purchase of what asset specifically? Stock. Yeah, stock. Yeah, on credit or on cash, but stock. So purchases is only used for stock. It's not used for any other asset. So if you put any other asset inside of the purchases account, you have to remove it. Yeah? All right. So yeah, so we did debit purchases, but we weren't supposed to. We were supposed to have debited what account? Furniture. That's what we bought, right? So debit furniture and credit purchases. That amount is 1,500. That's the first one. All right. Any questions on that one again?
Number 5, to check the third time that the applicant Terry Henry had a credit to this account.
Hold on. Let me get there.
Okay.
A payment of 2,000 by check had been made by customer Ronaldinho, whose account was correctly credited, but the amount was entered in bank as 200. Okay, so check this. So what they're saying, oops, sorry, hold on, is that a payment by a customer to us was correctly credited, but the amount that was therefore debited to bank was incorrectly entered. So bank got 200, but we credited Ronaldinho 2,000. So in this particular case here, is the debit equal to the credit? No, it's not. Right? The credit is correct, but the debit is what? Too high or too low? It's too low. By how much? 1,800. Okay. So how do we fix this? By increasing the amount or decreasing the amount? Increasing, and it's a debit. To increase a debit, you simply debit again. Right? So we're gonna debit bank for 1,800 because that was the amount by which it was short, and since it was a one-sided error, we're gonna use the suspense account 1,800. No, it said a payment by check had been made by customer. We're getting them, yeah. So you had to read carefully. All right. Actually, let's enter that in the suspense account one time now. So that was credit suspense for 1,800, and that went to bank. Next. No, sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I just cast in the chat, and I'm trying to focus on the work, but I'll check it just now. Sorry about that. Okay, a discount allowed to Fergie Alexander of 256 was debited to discount allowed as 236. Aha! So we allowed Fergie a discount of 256. So when you allow someone discount, you debit discount allowed and you credit the debtor. In this case, Fergie, right? So what's that? Yeah, man, that is horrible. I'm not gonna deny that. Yeah.
Oh, his Thompson is 2010 Jan.
Yeah, 2010 Jan. Sorry, hold on. 2010 Jan. Beckhammond, 2010 Jan. All right, so the amount was 256, but was debited to discount allowed as 236. So you have 236 here, 256 here. So what's the problem with this entry? The debit is what? Not equal to the credit. And it's correct. It's short by 20. So to fix that, what do we have to do? So if the debit is too low, how do we fix that? We debit it more. So we have to debit discount allowed for, yes, 20. And since it was a one-sided error, what account has to be used to facilitate that? The suspense account. Alright, that's 20. So up here, you have 20, and that goes to discount allowed. Alright, we have 2 more to go, and then the correction of net profit. All right, this one actually seems relatively easy. Goods with a value of $3,700 sold to Russell Smith had been debited to Dwight Smith. So what's the problem there? To whom did we sell? Russell. Who was debited? What kind of error is this? Commission. Trinidad. We're in Trinidad right now. So how do we fix this? Who was supposed to be debited?
Russell.
Right, so to fix that, he wasn't debited, so you have to debit R. Smith. How much was it again? 3,700. Who was debited instead?
Dwight.
Was Dwight supposed to have been debited?
No.
So how do you remove a debit? With a credit. Alright, no suspense required. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. 5. A check for $375 drawn on behalf of Terry Henry had been credited to his account. Okay. So I think we are Terry Henry. Is that the company we are? No, we are Beck Hammond. All right.
Chris, did you put
Yeah.
Russell for the second one?
Yeah, look, Russell here. Oh, sorry. It was Dwight. My bad. Thank you. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at our last error, sorry. A check for $375 drawn on behalf of Terry Henry had been credited to his account. So if we're making a payment to Terry, what's the debit and what's the credit? We're supposed to,
Debit him on credit.
right, we were supposed to debit Terry and credit bank. But what was the problem? We credited his account, which means this entry had two credits. 375, 375. So we have a credit to Terry that shouldn't be there, and it's also missing a debit. So first, how do you undo a debit? How do you undo a credit, sorry? You had a debit. So we had a debit Terry for 375. And we're also missing the initial debit that was supposed to have been there, which is also 375. So the total amount here, because we were supposed to debit Terry in the first place,
Yeah.
but we credited him.
Okay.
So the first credit is to remove, the first debit of 375 is to remove the incorrect credit. The second debit is to put in the debit that should have been put in the first place, because we were supposed to debit him. So
So then you put bank as the 7%.
no, bank was entered correctly.
Also suspense 7%.
Suspense, that's correct, right? This is a one-sided error. So we have to debit T. Henry for $750 and credit suspense for $750. So $750 will go here. And guess what's going to happen when you add up the credit side here?
They're gonna be high. No.
Exactly. No, all.
Oh, yeah,
Huh?
it's high. There's
Seven.
also difference per channel or something.
Nope, it's going to be equal.
Oh,
Somebody want to know if I could ask the class to say yeet.
no.
They don't want to say it, sorry. What is yeet? Yeet. Unless it's supposed to be yes. I don't know.
No, it's a thing.
It's a thing?
Yeah.
It's a thing?
It's a phrase.
Alright. Ask the class to say yeet. I just asked them, they said no, sorry. They said they don't want to say it.
Who's making it?
Yeah, microphone right here.
Yeet.
Alright, look, one person said yeet. Two. What does it mean? Does it mean something?
I don't know. It's like it's kind of like psych.
Like what?
Psych.
No.
Psych.
No. Yes.
Dead. No, sir.
Because if you do something
it's like this.
I know how to explain.
Yes.
I know it's not. Well, the chat is very much entertained, so thank you. All right, cool. Back to the accounts now. Okay, so we've done part 1 and part 2. Now, draw up a statement of the revised net profit. So that is where a lot of people have some issues. All right. All right, so here we're going to do. Let me just switch back to My regular.
Can I see the definition of these?
The definition. Can you not Google it there?
No, I did.
Oh, you want to see it?
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, go through now.
It's a versatile word that can be used as an explanation, a verb, or even a noun.
A versatile word that can be used as an explanation, a verb, or even a noun. So basically, it's like any Trini word that we take and use as like ends. Yeah. As a noun. I know it's not.
Say not enough money making.
Not. Oh, by Nicholas. Nicholas went here for lessons or no?
He did?
Yeah, Nicholas was here in 2014. Yeah.
Nicholas Bosley.
No. Nicholas was here. And his two brothers came after too. I think it's a joke. I think it's a game.
Do you want to see when he used to sit in?
Well, we used to be sitting that way. He used to sit like near to the back here, and he would always have his headphones in. And every class, he'd have his headphones in and back doing so. Right? And then he would want to ask a question, or like I would be calling him. He'd be like, the person next to the poke, he'd be like, he put back in. Yes, sir. So what's going on? Nick, take out the headphones. Every class. Every class.
Oh, you would be used to face that way.
The TV was on that wall.
Oh.
Yeah, so when I realized the class kind of getting bigger, people might be able to see. That's when I shifted it to this way.
Oh.
Yeah. Alright guys, so what I want to do is I want to correct the net profit in this particular...
Correct? I even know how to do it.
Well, that's what I want to show you how to do it. Alright, so let's just, let's pull this to the side here. Let's expand that. Right. Alright, what I want to do is just, let's just zoom in there so it's easier for the people online to see. Okay, so this is Beck Hammond. So Beck Hammond, right? Statement of corrected net profit for the, do we have a time? For the,
Yeah, 1 minute.
that's alright. Okay, so let's take a look and see how we're going to correct this net profit, shall we?
Chris.
Yeah. Gotta go? Alright, cool. Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Alright, see you tomorrow.
First, I have to
Oh, that go? Alright, cool. I'll go ahead and just pull up the live and then go home and check out the end. Alright, so profit before correction. Actually, you know what? Let me just pull it up here.
So you use
Alright,
that
Donna.
would go into the income statement.
Yes. Basically, what you do is you only adjust the income statement, the profit, for any errors in revenues or expenses. All right. The items in the suspense account, right? There were 3 items, right? Bank and Terry Henry would not affect profit because bank is an asset, Terry Henry is a debtor. Discount allowed is an expense, right? And that was undercast, so you have to increase discount allowed. When you increase discount allowed, that's going to decrease profit. Similarly, Russell and Dwight were both debtors, so the correction of that error had nothing to do with net profit. The purchases figure, however, would. So we had ended up putting an amount in purchases where it should not be. So when you remove it, the value in purchases would go down, which means your expenses are going down, and therefore your profit will go up. Alright guys, tomorrow? Alright, later. Bye. So there were only 2 items to adjust for which to adjust net profit. Alright, so you had to adjust it for the decrease in purchases, which would be added because that means expenses are decreasing and profit goes up. And you had to subtract the discount allowed increase because discount allowed is an expense, and if it goes up, profit goes down. So that's your corrected net profit there. Alright guys. Yeah, so we got through quite a few questions actually. There was only one more after Mr. Best.
Oh, Jesse, I said the tell.
Oh, bye.
Oh, we told them bye already.
Yeah, well, when they watch you live back later, they'll see that you said bye.
Bye.
I said him more.
Do multiple choice. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we'll do multiple choice. We'll do the appreciation in the first half, and then in the latter piece we'll do some multiple choice. And then we'll just. I know class is supposed to go till 8:30, but we'll stop by about 8:15 or so.
Chris, we gotta go watch Game of Thrones, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
I just had to go upstairs, but all of them had to be gone.
Exactly, I had to go. And like, you have an exam. That it matter, is it?
If you study whole day, you can take an hour and a half.
I would be here 4 hours.
That's true.
Prior. I know. This episode's like an hour and a half.
So read the comment above. Thanks.
Yeah, 3 hours. Just me. Like, you need.
If you're taking out, hold on, wait. I'm gonna go back
you
and
need
see
3 hours.
how much I missed.
Like, I finished like
Principle of
3 hours.
possessing.
Like, at the end of the depending on the question or something, like, I forgot a few stuff.
If I think budget's coming, yeah, I think so. Please save this live, alright, save.
One more for the love.
Aaron, Christoph, sorry. Change my surname to what? Accent sound like HSC for this being gal. Yeah. Anybody know what school this is? It isn't a school. Where? It's a private lessons place. I used to teach in Fatima. See my class, show my class. Let me see the class, show you the class already. My parents have the connections, alright? Nigzy. I don't know. Nigzy? I don't know. Girls hit me up. My CSEC examiner going and cheat for me. Alright, good luck with that. Follow me on IG. Man, you is trash. Alright, all they had to learn. But yeah, I agree, Shania. Alright, Dominic, later. Wait, man, this is PoA. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Career teach French boy. Thanks. Principle of zesting. I like that one. I don't want to moderate, so I can moderate you. Okay. Suspense need to get suspended. You need to chill like BMT. Alright, Zelia. Sorry. Genevieve. My bad. Zelia one?
Yes.
Alright. Ready for PoA. Good. Yeah, we're in Trinidad. Can't really see my sexy face. Okay, buddy. Live fortnight game. Error principle is with the wrong account names. Error principle is with the wrong class of account. So let's say something was supposed to go in cash and they put it in bank, or something was supposed to go in motor vehicle and they put it in motor expenses. That's error of principle. Country I'm from Trinidad. By chance you read, okay. Wrong class of account. Yeah, Joanna. That's the definition. Alright, bye, Brianna. Yeah, that's the definition, but if something was supposed to go in bank and they put it in cash, correct, it's not the wrong class of account, it's still an asset account, but it still went in the wrong account. And it doesn't fall into any of the other categories. If you know of the correct name for that, or if there's a different name other than error principle, you can let me know. I'm very open to learning things that I don't know when I should know them. So you have a real bad boy. My penmanship sank long time ago, right? When you're taking fixed assets, current assets out of the business as drawings, you have to record it as purchases. No, that's your debit drawings and you credit the assets account. If it was stock, you'd credit purchases. What past paper? This one is Jan 2010. So why you ignore me? Once again, wasn't ignoring you. I was just dealing with the class. Too sexy for this chat. Alright, cool. Cool out my youth. Trinidad. So you wrote the same names. Oh yes, thank you, John. I did. Chelsea told me that too. No, sorry, not Chelsea. It was Amy. It's blurry. Sorry about it being blurry. Yeah, we say the eat. Not enough money making. Oh, apparently eat is an expression of excitement. So how much for your lesson? 600 for the month, and they come twice a week. During exam time, a paper session is 75. Next year, going up to 80. So what side you does back? None. I'm not really a football fan, to be honest. I was watch football. I was watch World Cup. That's about it. Salop. I good. Tell me we no play. Tell them I say bye. Whoever leave it. Multiple choice tomorrow evening. Serious? Not if you're taking out fixed assets as a personal use, so you record it as purchase. No. No. Once you take out fixed assets of personal use, that is just drawings. So you debit drawings and you credit, let's say it was equipment, you credit equipment. Alright. How many people left now? 2. Really above comment now. Which one? Oh yeah. Yeah, Nizy. Game of Thrones and all that. Entitled your opinion. Class finished. Yes, Joanna. Class is done. Lost some.
My God, no.
I like that
Laughing at
no nice. The fixed assets once again would be debit drawings, credit that particular fixed asset. Do a shout out. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Everybody. That's real expensive. Alright, if you feel so. But I know people up on the side who charging more. Yeah. 600 is for twice a week and nobody. That's 8 sessions. Most people paying 400, maybe even 500 go somewhere for once a week. And then classes have 27, 37 people. My class have 10, maybe 12. Right. Anyhow, what topics you normally get to choose from in section 2? Yeah, Anika. Is Anika? Am I saying it right? Okay, alright Joanna, bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Right. Okay, sorry, to answer Anika, Miss Robinson. You have no more choice section. You have another choice section since last year, 2017 actually. You just have 5 compulsory questions. So there's no more section, 2-3 people. Right? Sorry, I watched my phone like I talking to my phone, my bad. Right? Hello, Sharida. There's no choice anymore. Yeah, that's correct, Mr. Lepouf. Debit drawing credit purchases. No credit purchases. Credit the fixed asset. Alright guys, I have a few minutes. I'll take any questions you want to ask. I can't promise to do a whole topic now because I just did 4 hours of class, so a little bun and I'm hungry.
I was refreshing his subscribers, not just
Then we have to know everything. Yeah, you have to know everything. Even if you had a choice, we don't know what common in the choice. It's not like it was like any math. But they took out the choice from math too. In math you used to be able to choose Nick, class over Nick. In math you used to be able to choose either questions 9, 10 or 11. Alright guys, tomorrow hopefully.
Yep.
Alright, Chelsea, outside?
Math, I'm not coming tomorrow.
Alright, cool. Yeah, maths Monday and Tuesday, right? Alright. Yeah, who I was talking to? So you could have like totally ignored vectors and matrices and just done trigonometry, circle geometry, and graphs and functions. Or you could have ignored circle geometry and trigonometry and just done vectors, matrices, and graphs and functions. Or you could have ignored graphs and functions and done circle geometry, trigonometry, vectors, matrices. But they said, hey, you know what? We don't like people ignoring topics, so everything compulsory now. But they took out sets from the paper. So we need to know markup and margin. Yes, that's on the syllabus. You all want to see the syllabus? I have it. Are you going to do stock valuation anytime soon? Unfortunately, most likely not. Tomorrow, the first session, 4 to 6, will be depreciation. The second session will be multiple choice. I don't know if I could squeeze in anything because I have to lock up just now because I have to have some stuff to do. I wish I could still answer all your questions, to be honest. I'd like to help. Alright? Potatoes are soft stones with taste. Don't at me. Oh, okay. Stock valuation is mostly come in Jan. That is correct, but once again, I don't believe in predicting what comes in any paper based on what came before. Alright, do limited companies tomorrow, please. Actually, I'm real sorry, but I covered that earlier this week with my class. I was trying to do like videos. I have one for provision for bad debts I want to put up. I just have like 10 more minutes to edit. Go live tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, 4 o'clock to 6, and then 6:30 to 8:30. That might cut short because, like I say, game was 9 o'clock. Statement of net worth. Statement of net worth is basically assets minus liabilities. So it's almost like a balance sheet. Just it doesn't have to be sectioned off like fixed assets and current assets and then long-term liabilities and current. You can just group all of your assets together, group all of your liabilities together, and then just subtract the subtotals and get net assets. Related to partnerships. Mr. Lepouf, I hope that cleared it up, right? So statement of net worth, you take all the, for a partnership. So what you do is you add up the capital account balance to the partner's current account balance, and that is their net worth, the total amount they have invested in the business and earned from the business. Can you do bad debts too? I'll see if I could attach a piece to the end of the provision video for bad debts. Right, bad debts, provision, account, stock valuation. I didn't study those things. Jan topics. Well, sir, do the bank reconciliation statement. We did that one earlier today, Blossom. The bank rec. We did a live on that. So if you go in the videos on the channel, you'll see a live. It was a 2-hour live. You could just buzz through, look at different pieces. Right? I think we did about 4 past paper questions. So I hope you find that helpful. Don't cut out the bloopers there, sir. It's kicks. I have to remember that, boy. I keep forgetting. Like if I start and I find I make a mistake, I just cut it out. But once I'm recording, like I'm in the middle of recording, I usually do cut out stuff, unless it's just a lot of dead air. Right? If you watch the one I put up on trading accounts earlier this week, I had to actually pause the video to go and deal with a class. This door right behind me, there's usually a class there on a Monday evening, and they were talking about Avengers Endgame spoilers. And the guy my friend who teaches inside it, hadn't seen it. So when I heard the major spoiler, I got up one time and I kind of left it in the video. I said, look, I have to go and deal with a matter and come back. But yeah, I need to have some more bloopers for after. Bank reckon. Current account balance is the balance carried down either. Right. Usually when you're asking about the balance in an account, it's the balance brought down. Sorry guys, just give me 1 second. I need to check to see who came in my gate, because apparently we have a rise in crime as of late. I'm coming back. Just 2 minutes. Aha. Is that you?
I thought that was him.
Okay.
I saw him here go up. I like, no, he comes downstairs.
Okay.
And so I went. What the thing?
Alright. So that as Bianca? Okay. Everybody else going to?
I don't know.
Do you have anybody else outside?
Nah, they're gone.
Okay. The zip kind of coming down, huh?
I know.
Oh, okay. Any other questions? So, drawings and interest on drawings are 2 different things. Yes, drawings is the amount the partners take out for their own personal use. The interest on drawings is literally like a charge for doing that. So usually the question was say there's a 5% interest on drawings. So let's say drawings was $10,000, or let's say $100, and you have to pay 5% interest. 5% of 100 is $5. So that's interest on drawings, 2 different things. Hey guys, I have a few minutes again if anybody have any other questions. I don't mind answering them. Did you do any of the Jan 2019 paper with ratio? I have the entire Jan 2019 solution on my Facebook page. You could look for the same name as the this YouTube channel, A Different Approach Tuition Limited, or look for Adapt Tuition. You could, maybe one word. What is the significance of the balances on either debit or credit? Okay, I think I now understand your question. Okay, so a current account records.
Can I use your phone to call my father when you're finished?
You can use it to call him now.
Okay.
I'll just answer the questions in the chat right here.
Dad, where are you?
Oh gosh, why?
Like, just give me 1 minute.
Yes.
One of the girls is on the phone to call the parents.
Yes. Chris, I'm the last one. You're now leaving home, not on your way.
Okay, significance of the balances. Okay, let me answer the proofs. You get true?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Alright, so the significance of, okay, so like I said, the current account is the account used to record the earnings and withdrawals of the partners. The earnings go on the credit side, the withdrawals go on the debit side. If at the end of it you have more earnings than withdrawals, it means your credit side will be greater than your debit side. Whichever, right? Which means you have a credit balance. So if you earn more than you withdraw, you have a surplus on your current account. So a credit balance means you have a surplus on your current account. If you have the reverse, it means you withdrew more than you earned. And that in that case, you have a deficit on your current account. So credit balance is a surplus on the current account, debit balance is a deficit on the current account. Hope I answered your question. Ratios come in. They've been testing it relatively often. So even if it's not a whole question, they have like a part B or a part C to it, and they'll ask you about it. Yes, so you should know the ratios. If you don't leave now, you would stay here till 7. That is actually true, I have no doubt. But I need to go and eat soon. So what's you seeing? Not enough money making, alright. Multiple choice, you're supposed to do multiple choice tomorrow between 6:30 and 8:30. Will subscription accounts come? Subscriptions are no longer on the syllabus. Alright. Should we know about single entry and incomplete? No. Let me pull up the syllabus, right guys? Just give me a minute. Syllabus. Okay, let me maximize this so y'all can see what it is I want y'all to see. Okay, so Control F. Let's look for non-profit organizations, right? And then section 9, okay? So we're going again. Section 9 in the syllabus. No, that's not section 9. All right. So let me go a little more slowly. Sorry about that. Right, so here it's talking about limited liability companies, and so know the features. Right, let me close off this. Right, features of limited companies, right, cooperatives, non-profit. Identify types of limited companies, cooperatives, non-profit types. Outline, sorry, this thing scrolls a bit fast. Advantages and disadvantages of a limited company. Raising capital, equity. Identify various types of shares. Journal entries to record capital. Dividend payments, various types of shares, appropriate profits between dividends and reserves. Prepare the final accounts of limited liability companies and cooperatives. Income statement showing distribution surplus. Analyze performance. Prepare receipts and payments accounts for non-profit organizations. Prepare receipts and payments accounts only. Right? So that was the answer. The person asking about what is this? Subscriptions of the syllabus. Why is that held for review? I'm okay with that. That was 3 marks. Yeah, I agree. Income and expenditure and receipts and payments could come. I'm not saying it is coming, but it's on your syllabus. So you're like, that real so my teacher spent 2 weeks on subscriptions. Boy, I was about to teach it here too. Honestly, I have a suspicion that they might still bring it because they do stupidness like that. They don't say specifically on the syllabus everything because they say it's impossible to say everything. Fine, okay, whatever. But if that really comes, I think that they can make a case for that. I would have liked to have taught it back in the Easter when I was doing non-profits. I even did my first video on YouTube, I did on incomplete records, just the control account aspect. And then later that same day, one of my students called and said, hey Chris, you know, that's not on the syllabus anymore. Anyhow, sir, can you send me some multiple choice? Sir, me too if you have. Sir, same along with the Jan 2019. Guys, I'm not really supposed to distribute past papers. That kind of, that could get me in trouble, as far as I know. Alright, so that's a hard luck scene there. Somebody was asking about incomplete records, right? Yeah, actually Nicholas has it right that they do the specimen paper. The specimen paper has questions. Somebody was asking about cash projections. Well, it's not cash projections, it's actually budgets. So you can check that one there. Jan 2019. Here, Jan 2019 was no big paper. Let me tell you why. Alright. In Jan 2019, this is what they brought. Cash book and source documents. Income statement with adjustments, current assets, partnerships, error correction, bank rec, LLCs, and these were error correction were just which errors don't affect the trial balance. 2 marks. LLCs, this was just to record the issue of share capital at par. It was real simple if you know what to do. The bank recs, we did that question here. Ratios, right? It really was not a difficult paper, right? You could any of these topics you could find on almost most papers before that. Your ratios, they've only started bringing ratios like this as of late, but if you have the 2018 May, you could go there and check that paper out, right? The Jan 2019, there was no special paper, to be honest. There's nothing to be afraid of, right? Specimen, Jan, Google Drive. Well, Anika, if you're feeling to share on the Google Drive, you organize them. Jan 2019 was easy. May 20, maybe same. I'm not sure about that one. Multiple choice. I don't know about that one. Sorry, one second. I'm just people and see my student outside still, right? You're okay outside? Well, let me put it down because I'll have to get inside if it's just you. Alright, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to thing of the mic. Anybody have June 2018, May 2018? So can you send us your email? My email. It's supposed to be on the about page for this channel. Instagram page supposed to have it too. Facebook supposed to have it too. Yeah, Jan 2019 was no big paper. What is statement of affairs? A statement of affairs is simply a simplified balance sheet. So like I was saying, if you're doing a statement of affairs, you can have one section for all your assets. You don't have to specify current or fixed. Just put them there, have a subtotal. Same thing for liabilities. Put them there, have a subtotal, and it's assets minus liabilities equal net assets. You don't have to have a capital section. Statement of affairs is a very simplified balance sheet. Why can I not see that? When you're finished using it, okay, cool. No subscription accounts. No, yes, subscription is not there. In computer records, we have to know statement of affairs. Yes and no. Statement of affairs was usually with regard to, what do you call it, income, non-profits. But they said that all you guys have to know with respect to non-profits is receipts and payments account. Chat going fast, boy, sorry. What about payroll? Yeah, payroll still there. Statement of affairs, Google Drive, email, for sure. Yeah, no subscription. Statement of affairs, you could. Oh, Insta, I can send you a link. Fish burp. The link is most past papers. Alright, cool. Well, I'm glad you guys share. Yeah. They're gonna do all anything. They might do me something. Let me check. Oh, Loris. I now see more message. Hi, Chris. Can you tell Lorelei we are leaving for her now?
What was that time?
3:13. 10 minutes ago.
Oh my god.
Okay, cool. Wilson, please don't do it. No, I'm not gonna delete the live. The live is up. Okay, I'll check that. Just checking messages in the meantime. Facebook. How did you get credit? Sales. I'm guessing it was the balancing figure. What's the other figure? Jack Rapper. Either control account. Wait, that is the control. Yeah. I put in the other items in the control account and balanced it off. Somebody else, message retracted. Somebody is subscription and assets. Subscriptions is a revenue. That's the major revenue item for non-profit organizations. That's like if you pay like a subscription to an online site or something, or like like a membership fee. So I have June 2018. Anybody have June 2018? Anybody have it? Organize Mr. Fisher GD. Solutions for multiple choice. I'll do some tomorrow. I don't know how many I'll get through because I mean class is only 1.5 hours. No, is you alright? You sure? Yeah. Exam season is that to everybody. What time is live tomorrow? Oh, sorry guys, I didn't see your comments. I was just answering anybody who messaged me. 4 o'clock. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. I have stuff to do with that stuff in the morning. I have family lunch. And yeah, I'll leave there about 3 o'clock. Come home and set up the live and everything. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm looking to do a couple of depreciation questions. I'll see if I can stick on a stock valuation. I can't promise anything, but I definitely want to try and finish edit that provision for bad debts in case anybody needs it. In 2012 year, one of my students came to class the day before the exam and she specifically asked for that topic, and I was going to leave it out because it doesn't come very often. And lo and behold, it was basically the entire question 2 in the exam. And that's when it had a compulsory section. Right? Yeah, don't worry about our Jan 2019. You could do cash book. I feel like I did some stuff with cash book already somewhere, you know. Check my videos. If you go and check out the receipts and payments account, if not, go on Facebook. Go on Facebook, look for, the past paper questions, the solution, and check out the questions there. If you have any questions, you could just message me on Facebook, comment on Facebook, and I'll respond as best I can. Do you think payroll accounting is easy? Not because you're a teacher, but do you think it'll be challenging? So where you get any CSEC syllabus? CXC-store.com. Let me hold on. Before I show you guys that one, let me answer another question somebody asked us now. Payroll accounting is easy. Everything is easy if you know how to do it, you know, right? But here now, for the most part, CSEC payroll stuff is relatively simple. My brother's fiance she's doing ACCA, and her question, she asked me to take a look last year. I could barely make heads or tails of that because of the English. The accounting wasn't the problem, it was the English. When she said, well, this is what you guys said to do, and it was, I was thinking that was what you're supposed to do, but I had no context to go on, right? But yeah, it is relatively simple, but I understand. If you don't know what to do, it's not simple, right? CSEC syllabus, can you do accounts for, I did corporate this already for the week, I realized, sorry. All right, club account might not come, nah, unlikely. Okay, cool. How much? Again. Yeah, I can get it. Let's go. Alright. If I get the one, I transfer it to your account. I appreciate that, but you don't have to. You can keep your money, you can donate it, you can put it towards your further education, right? Not that I don't need the money, but I rather keep your money, buddy. Right? If you want to show gratitude, then give me a good review on Facebook. Alright? Leave good comments on the YouTube videos. That's how you could express your gratitude to me. That's all I want, right? Bad debts. I don't know, boy, really and truly. But here, guys, I just need 2 minutes. I just have to run upstairs to get something and come back. Alright? Just give me a good comment and stuff. I'll check it out when I come back, right? Provision for doubtful debts. I have to finish editing that video and I want to try and do that today. right? I'll come back just now. Yeah. Lawyers are run upstairs just to get something and come back, right? Don't, and if they come for you, just tell them hold on for a second and not take a look at the car downstairs, empty if I'm not downstairs, right?
Oh, the live's still going on.
Yeah. Live still there.
When did we do cooperatives?
Yeah, we did cooperatives this week.
What?
Either Monday or Tuesday. I did that this week. No, sorry. We did that last week. We did it Friday. Yeah, because I was doing cooperatives as a lead in to LLCs, but I ended up not doing LLCs on Monday. I did LLCs on Tuesday.
Yeah, I said that LLCs.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, I reached back there. Take us some water. Talking to all them and those, my nasal tracks that I get dry, you know. Talking too much.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta hydrate. What are they going on? Anybody still there? I don't even know. 2.5 hours, 18 watching. Yeah, people there, man. Yeah, guys. Who wanted to see what they get the syllabus again? Y'all want to see that? Still? Alright, check it. Look for CXC store. Right? Boom. As a matter of fact, hold on, go back. Syllabuses and subject reports. Syllabuses, CSEC, businesses, principles of accounts. Past papers, ebook, no, that's not what I want. Oh, sorry. Syllabuses and see how I had to read? Businesses, PoA. 2 items. 20. Nah, so it's not this. Hold on. No, it's not this one.
Wait, that book's free?
Yeah, all these syllabuses are free. This one. Right? CSEC Principles of Accounts. Syllabus, specimen paper, mark scheme, and subject reports. Right? Look, effective for examinations from May to June 2019. Is that?
No.
Alright. Yeah, guys. So I'll show you how to go and get the syllabus, yeah? So you can't tell me I didn't show you. No, it's free. You can download it for free. All the syllabuses are free. I think the exam reports are free too. The past papers you have to pay for. Oh yes. Oh, just take up people's and see if I have a blue. No. Oh no, that's for me.
Oh.
Guys, just give me 1 minute, right? I'll come in. Real and nominal, I'll come back to you in 2 minutes. Bibi.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, guys, I'm real sorry about that. Anybody still here? Anybody still here? 14? Yeah, guys, I'm real sorry. 1 second. Woo. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the day. It is 4 o'clock. So I officially must log off. Nah, guys, I didn't forget. I didn't forget. Anyhow, folks, thanks very much for checking in. Right, I appreciate all of the comments, all of the feedback. I hope you guys found today's 3-hour stream helpful. Right. So it's going to teach. No, I'm real sorry, Joanna. I am actually what? I am very tired, and I need to eat something, and I had to go to church just now. Yeah. Is it Terran? One more question. All right, one more question. I could do it. You're very welcome, Joshua. Thank you for watching. What did he say? Syllabus isn't downloading. That's real strange. Is cooperatives coming? I don't know. Thought I was gonna start back. No. I was organizing some more stuff for Mother's Day. Yeah, I'm real sorry I left you guys on. But my friend who delivers the stuff, yeah, she and her husband came, so we ended up talking about different movies and Game of Thrones and all kinds of TVs and stuff. Yeah, we get carried away sometimes. Yeah, so was there one more question? Oh, you found it? Okay, all right. I'm glad that you found it. Yeah. One notification was that 2 hours ago. Didn't I answer this? Okay, cool. So you are 7 days. No, if I was a 7 days, I wouldn't be working today. No, I am Roman Catholic. I just go to Mass on a Saturday to have Sunday free. And so I don't have to get up early on a Sunday, but I usually get up early anyway to take it. The first pronunciation was, I can't remember, Terrian, right? Okay. It have a POA syllabus download link. Yes, didn't I? Look at here. Look, I'll copy and paste it for all you. Wait, where are you going? All right. Very helpful. Thank you, Aaron. Look, that's the link there. Copy and paste that link in your browser, or just click on it. And it's the second one, the first syllabus, the first one that they put here. This is the old syllabus. That's 2008 to 18. It's not that you want. All right. You want the one below that. Sharita. All right. Okay, it says 11. All right, guys. So, run through ratios in Jan 2019. All right, Jaim. Real quick, because I'm real tired, hungry, and I still have things to do. Right? Okay. Let me put up the questions, right? Well, again, a little extra here, right? I was like, ooh, the dog's hearing something in the distance there, boy. Give me once, and I'm gonna just check the dogs are coming out right now. I'm not gonna take the next 20 minutes, I promise. Cool. Right, I think they're okay. Right, that's the cookies to go on them. Right, that's the buttercream ones. That's for class tomorrow. Y'all want to see something? I got some cupcakes for my classes at farewell tomorrow. Oh, hold on, let me hold. So there's the cupcakes here. Right, I have some cookies too for Mother's Day. Right, I usually try to get these things for the kids to say farewell. Alright. So yeah, I might take one because I'm kinda hungry. But I really shouldn't be eating all them snacks. I have one already for the day. Alright guys, sorry, yeah. Alright, I'll deal with that just now. Let me get through this question fast because I need to go. Yeah, be patient with Blossom, please. Things just take time. Good. They're calling. They want to know why I'm still downstairs. Hello. Okay. Yes, I'm going to church. I'm a 5:15, hopefully. Yeah. Alright, cool. Yeah. Yes, thanks. Yeah. Was the one that's the nice one, the Cubano? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, this one. No. Cool. Right. Jahim, where are you? Aha, alright. Wait, what? Totishness. Jahim. Total Health. Right, Total Health Solutions is a supplier of health food products. At 31st December 2018, following information was extracted. Alright, hold on. Alright, so they give you a balance sheet. Non-current assets, one line. Inventory, stock, debtors, cash. Total assets, you add up everything. Alright? Current liabilities, they gave you two of them. No total. Capital, net income, you add up everything. So 260. Okay, what do you want? So hold on, they give you additional information. Opening inventory, purchases, revenue. Three ratios. Current ratio, inventory turnover, and asset test. Alright. Watch it. Current ratio is current assets divided by current liabilities. Alright, let me just see if I could get something going on here. Right, current assets 90 and 45 is 135. 135 and 13 is 148. Hence, current assets 148, right? Sorry, let me just get back on my phone here so I can see what you guys saying. Right, sorry, 1 second. Right, Jahim, right, Joshua, right, Gara, right, Blossom, how about me, right, kind. Nope, I didn't multiple choice. Good luck in that. Right, okay, cool. Right, yes, so current liabilities, right, you just add up. 53 and 60 is 113, so it's 148 divided by 113, you have 113 to 1. That's the current ratio. Inventory turnover. Inventory turnover is cost of goods sold divided by average stock. To find cost of goods sold, right, that's basic trading accounts. It's opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. So 63 plus 80, 143. That's your cost of goods available. Right? Minus the 90, and you have 53. Now your average stock is, to find the average of two numbers, you add them together and you divide by 2. So you add inventory 90, 63, that's 153, divided by 2, 76,500. That divided by that is 0.69 or 0.7 times. Right? Asset test ratio, right? Asset test is current assets, not including stock. So if you add together the 45 and the 3, you have 58. Your current liabilities is still 113. So 58 divided by 113 is 0.5 to 1. All right. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, what was the question asking after that? They give you a second company, Carry Health, right? Which entity is better able to meet its immediate short-term obligation? Immediate short-term obligations is liquidity. Current ratio, quick ratio. Immediate means quick ratio. This company has 0.87 to 1. This company has 0.51 to 1. Right? So therefore, I would go with Carry Health. Is acid test the same as acid? Well, there's no acid ratio. It's acid test. If they're calling it acid ratio, I assume they mean acid test. Right, Anika? Carry Health has a better acid test. Okay, so that's answering. So just one reason. They have a better acid test ratio, long story short. All right, part C to the question, make one recommendation that the business could do to enable it to improve on its asset test. The only way to improve asset test is either to increase your current assets, except stock, or to decrease your current liabilities. To improve your current assets, not including stock, you have to make more sales, either credit or cash. If you make more credit sales, your debt is going to go up. If you make more cash sales, cash going to go up. Both of those would improve your asset position, excluding stock. Alternatively, you could pay off current liabilities. But the problem is, if you're using cash to pay off liabilities, you're going to reduce your assets balance. So that might not be the best way, right? But it is still a recommendation you could put. I just wouldn't put it, right? Next. One ratio which can be used to assess profitability: gross margin, net margin, return on capital employed. All right, and the last part, statement of financial position for total health to solution. What? Use that to calculate operating expenses. Oh, okay, sorry. So operating expenses, so right. So normally you'd have revenue, which they gave us. Revenue, right? Minus your cost of goods sold, which we got from above. Cost of goods sold, 53, right? And that gives you your gross profit. So normally we minus expenses from gross profit. But the thing is, we didn't have the expenses, but they gave us the net income or net profit. So you just minus that instead from gross profit, and you find your operating expenses. All right. Okay, guys. Who was asking for that? Jaheem, right? So Jaheem, I hope you were still there and you didn't drop out. Right? Anika, I hope I answered your question. All right, guys, as much as I would like to stay and answer every single question you have and show you all the solutions, I really had to go. So sorry, I'm watching the phone like I'm talking to other here, right? So thanks for your time. Those watching the replay on the live, I hope you guys got some good information. Sorry about the 20-minute gap just now. My bad. Okay, and I wish all you all good luck. Remember, tomorrow I'm doing a 4 to 6. I have to cover depreciation as revision. This is actually the first year I didn't give them like full past papers to do. Right? The link for the syllabus is just 9 pages. That's strange. Hold on. Let me check that before I go. Where did that go? Did I not put it? Okay, click on that. Oh great, it took me out of there. You sure? Now when I downloaded that, I had like a PDF that was it was real big. If it says 9 pages, maybe it's just loading up. Maybe it'll say more than 9 just now. I don't know. But it's not supposed to be just 9 pages, unless it's only the wrong thing. Right? That 2019 version, this is what it's supposed, well, this is what I named it. Right? Limit is right, 390 pages. You all seeing that there, right? So if it's just 9 pages, something went wrong, re-download it. Make sure you have the correct link. And I'm very sure I put the correct link inside of there. Alright, done with that, done with that, done with that. Save, no changes. Done with that. Goodbye, Adobe. Gonna replay this 10 times to be honest. Alright, well, I hope you have 30 hours to spend before the exam playing it over 10 times. I appreciate the sentiment, right? But maybe your time could be better used going over other things as well. But I appreciate the sentiment. I keep watching my phone like all I hear. I forget all I hear. Anyhow, I'm sure when I watch this over, I will thoroughly enjoy looking at myself doing nonsense. Anyhow, guys, yeah, 3 hours and 9 minutes, I think that's enough. I know Kerwin did a 9-hour thing the other night. I can't do that right now. Maybe another time I'll do that. Alright guys, so tomorrow 4 o'clock, first session, 6:30, the second session that will be shorter because we had to finish a little early. That'll be multiple choice, some depreciation too. I'll see if I can finish off that provision for Barrett's video. I really can't promise that. I'm not sure how that's gonna happen right now. If I get up like a jumpy tomorrow morning 5 o'clock, I'll organize all that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, for the umpteenth time, good day. Let me just make my 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours, right? How was any chat?